Hey there. So are you thinking about moving here to Sandy, Utah? Well, if so, you are in luck because today I'm going to be sharing with you some of the pros and cons of living right here in Sandy. And we're going to go ahead and get started right now. Mariah here. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if this is your very first time here. I'm a licensed and active real estate agent here in Utah, and this channel is literally everything you need to know about eating, working, playing, sleeping, and living in the Salt Lake City, Utah area. If that is of interest to you, consider subscribing down below and make sure you tap that bell for notifications so you are notified every week we drop a new video. We hear from people like you all the time who are looking to move, looking to relocate, or looking to buy or sell here in Utah, and we absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about making a move in a week, in a month, or even a year from now, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, and it would be our absolute pleasure to connect with you. So you're thinking about moving to Sandy, Utah. In fact, I've had a lot of people reaching out saying, hey, Mariah, I am getting relocated. My job's relocating me to Salt Lake, and we're looking into Sandy. What can you tell me? What can you show me? What do the schools look like? What do the neighborhoods look like? So today we're going to do just that. And I'm going to be sharing with you really some of the pros and cons of why people are moving here to Sandy, and then maybe why they might pick somewhere else. So number one, a big draw here to Sandy is simply the proximity to downtown Salt Lake and to the international airport. So you're about 15 minutes away from the international airport, depending on where you are here in Sandy. And you're really only about 15 minutes away from Salt Lake City, 15, 20, depending where you're at. So the proximity here to those type of things is amazing. If you are also a skier, a snowboarder, Sandy is a really nice location because you are so close. Actually, just right behind me, you can see the mountains in the range, and those mountains right behind me is where, you know, you've got Big Cottonwood, Little Cottonwood Canyon. Those canyons are going to lead you right up to Alta and Snowbird and Brighton and some of those big resorts that are here in the Salt Lake area. So if you're into skiing, if you're into snowboarding, you like the snow, literally it is right here to the east of me, and the proximity to that is amazing. So people really like the proximity here in Sandy. Number two are the schools, and the school districts here in Sandy are also strong. You've got a lot of different options here in Sandy as well. You know, you've got the public schools, you've got private schools, you've got different charter schools. So there's really a wide range of school options here. Number three are the parks. There are a lot of different parks here in Sandy. It's very outdoorsy. You've got a lot of people out and about, and it is very family friendly. So that's another draw here to Sandy. You've got the proximity, you've got the good schools, you've got family friendly, you've got, you know, just really the outdoors and the parks. And then another big draw for people are simply the shopping, the restaurants, the malls that are all fairly close by too. You've got Draper, that's just a little bit south of here. You've got Salt Lake, that's just a little bit north of here. And so really that proximity between those places where you've got a lot of shopping, you've got a lot of different restaurants and dining, there's a lot of quick casual things to eat here as well. And so people really, you know, that is something that people like this, you know, this area specifically for those reasons. Now, a con that some people feel like here in Sandy are simply the houses are not as new as in some of the other areas that you will see. Some of these areas are more established and the homes have been around a lot longer. And, you know, some people look at that as just a pro and a con because you're going to have more mature trees. You're going to have tree-lined streets on some of the areas. You're going to have more established communities and neighborhoods, but the houses are going to be a little bit older. For some, they're like, great, that's exactly what I'm looking for. I want a more established neighborhood. I want a more established community. I want the mature trees. I want the yards that are already finished and done. But some people feel like, oh, you know what? the kitchen might need remodeling or updating for their standards. So kind of keeping that in mind. And some of the lot sizes here kind of going along with that are going to be a little smaller than in some of the other areas. Again, Sandy is pretty big. And so depending on where you're at in Sandy, yes, there are some newer neighborhoods, but for the most part, you're going to see a little bit older, more established. Another pro of living here in Sandy, I actually have had a couple of physicians that have reached out that are getting transferred to Intermountain Health. Those are a lot of the hospitals that are around here. And they're, the proximity to jobs and all of that is also a big pro. And if you're looking at the tech industry and you're looking at Sandy, that tech industry, you've got Lehi, which is just south of Sandy, about 15-20 minutes. So again, that kind of goes back to the proximity of close to the airport, close to Salt Lake City, and then also close to the tech industry as well. Another pro here to Sandy, we briefly touched on this, are the outdoors. And because, like we said, the mountains are right behind us. In the wintertime, you've got great skiing, great snowboarding, but those resorts in that area there too, in the fall time, in the springtime, and really in the summertime, there is great hiking, great mountain biking out there too, and a lot of paved trails around as well. But up in those canyons, you are going to find so many incredible trails, incredible things to do if you're into the outdoors. And then this area too, because it's so close to the canyon, it is, you've got races, running races that are happening throughout the year. You've got the big Cottonwood Canyon Marathon. If you're a marathoner, just beware. I haven't run that one yet, but I hear it really, because it's so steep downhill, it can really do a number on your legs. But really just the number of outdoor activities here in the Sandy area are, there are a lot of them. Another pro for people living here in Sandy is it's pretty quiet. There's not a lot of crime here in Sandy as well. And a lot of times this kind of actually goes back to another pro that I had mentioned education wise. There are a lot of opportunities in the high school level here in Sandy too, within that school district. There are a lot of concurrent enrollment. That's it, concurrent enrollment within high school and then also within colleges. So what a lot of high school students do is they will be enrolled in collegiate level courses while they're still in high school. And so I know I've talked to a lot of parents that they're like, this is so good. I love that my children are not only, graduating, finishing high school, but they're also able to take classes at the college level as well. So that kind of goes along with that educational piece that we talked about before. I know I've heard this before from some people that I know that live in Sandy. They feel like the diversity is not what they were hoping for or what they wanted. Other people feel like it's just fine. So definitely a personal preference on that. So last but not least, moving right along, I really just want to take you on a little tour of some of the neighborhoods in Sandy so you can get just an idea of what some of the neighborhoods look like, some of the parks, and just to give you a feel of maybe, yes, this might be a great fit for you, or maybe, you'll look at another area nearby. So follow along with me and we'll hop into it right now. least this gives you an idea of some of the pros, some of the cons. Again, just to kind of go over some of the pros here in Sandy, the proximity to the airport, you've got the proximity to downtown Salt Lake. You've also got the proximity if you are, looking at working in the tech industry in Lehi. So really close to a lot. Again, you've got Big Cottonwood, Little Cottonwood Canyon just to the east. And you've got all of those major ski resorts, like I'd mentioned, Snowbird and Alta and Brighton are right through that canyon. And if you're into the outdoors, not only, is there the skiing, the snowboarding in the wintertime, but you also do have all those trails that are available to you for hiking and biking all summer long. And one other thing that I didn't mention is the amount of snow. We are here, it is wintertime right now. You can see the snow in the mountains behind me. But one thing is that Sandy, you're not going to see as much snow as you will in some other areas, like up in Draper, up in Suncrest, that is in Draper. You're going to see, in fact, I was just driving through there, and some of the, in front of these houses, the snowbanks are way taller than I am. And so in some of them, it's actually taller than the speed limit sign that's up there. So you can see here, there's really no snow on the ground here. So you're going to have a lot less snow in some areas here in Sandy than you will if you go higher up. Again, if you're up in higher up areas way on the east bench of Sandy, certainly you're going to have more snow. But if you're down where I am here, you're going to have less snow. So those just kind of give you an idea of a little bit of what you can expect here in Sandy. And again, if you are thinking about moving or relocating, you want to know a little bit more, my team and I work with people like you all the time. If you're thinking about making a move in a week, in a month, or even a year from now, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, and it would be our absolute pleasure to connect with you. Take care and have a great one. Bye.